Hello friend, welcome to my channel, or welcome back if you've been here before. My name's Kat. Today I'm doing, I think it's a tag or a challenge, I'm not really sure. It's basically, if I lost all of my makeup, what would be the first items I would repurchase? I found this really easy, and actually it took me maybe 2 minutes to just grab all these things. And I was quite surprised actually. It made me kind of realise how much makeup I have that I don't truly feel attached to and feel that I would have to have it in my life. So that was kind of interesting, but I just thought we could work through it and chat about why I would want to rebuy it. This look is from an upcoming 2 looks 1 palette with the kelidh soph green. That should be up whenever I have time to do the second look, so hopefully soon. But yeah, let's start talking about some things that I would buy. Let's sort of start in the order of how I would do my face. So the one base product that I would rebuy is the NYX Bear With Me tinted skin veil. It's like a really thin foundation. It's not a tinted moisturizer. I would not call it a tinted moisturizer, but it's incredibly thin. It feels like nothing on your skin. I love the finish that it has. It's a really natural finish. I have mine in the shade True Beige Buff, which is my kind of fake tan shade. I want to get this in a lighter shade for when I'm not fake tan, but I didn't choose a concealer because the only concealer I actually have is the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, and I only use that when I'm not using this, if that makes sense. I never use a foundation or a tinted moisturizer or a hybrid and concealer. I just find it's too much. I don't need it. And this, I find if you build it up on the areas that you need coverage, like for instance for me, I've got some really bad breakouts on my chin. I just put an extra layer on and it's absolutely fine, and it gives you that that veil. But yeah, I love this, and I love the finish, and I love the price. I think it's like a tenner. Yeah, this is definitely one that I would run out and repurchase. Next would be bronzer, and I only own 3 bronzers anyway, but the one that I use pretty much every single day is the Milk Makeup Matte bronzer in the shade Baked. So this is a cream bronzer and I absolutely love it. I can't see myself often using powder bronzer anymore. I just feel like it blends into the skin so beautifully and just gives you this really nice flush. I hate it when my bronzer just looks like a strip across my cheeks, but the way that I can blend this out so it kind of has, I kind of blend it out so it's all along this kind of perimeter and then into my cheeks, rather than just that straight line, because I'm not trying to chisel, I'm not trying to pretend like I have cheekbones. I just want to look healthy and, you know, get that really nice bronzed effect. And I love the finish of this as well. It's really glossy and just makes your skin look super hydrated and nourished and very much not what it is like at all. So I love this, and this is a lot smaller in real life than I was expecting it to be. When I see people with it, I expected it to be you know, as big as my hand, but this is more palm sized. But I've used this every single day since I got it, and that was maybe 3 months ago, and I still have that much product left. So I have a feeling I'm going to be using this for a really long time. But this is definitely, it's got hair on it. This is definitely something I would go out and repurchase because I think it's a lot of bang for your buck. And I just genuinely really love this product. Blush was a no-brainer. I would repurchase my Obsession Isn't It Peachy blush palette. I absolutely love this. I did throw away the one that was in this little section called Glimmer because it was a icy shimmery pink blush, and that's just not my vibe at all. I like really warm peachy orangey blushes, and these three are just like gorgeous. So it's like one that's a bit more soft and sort of nudie. This shade Hint is my favourite blush ever. It's what I'm wearing today. It's just orange, it's gorgeous. And then this one is more of a peachy pink called Bloom, and I absolutely adore this. When I run out of Hint, I'm going to repurchase this palette anyway for Hint, because it's just so pretty, and I'm yet to find another single blush that is this colour. But I use this blush palette very often. If I'm using a powder blush, this is what I usually dip into. I just absolutely adore it, and I would definitely run out and repurchase this. I think this whole palette is maybe £6, and it's definitely something I would want back in my hands. Next would be highlighter, and I would repurchase my Soph X Revolution highlighter palette. I use this all the time. If you watched my video that was me sort of going through and decluttering my complexion products, like base products, I don't have a lot of highlighters. I have this and then one more, I think, and this just like satisfies all my needs. It's got so many shades. I can use pretty much all of them except from these two. I mean, I could use this one as like a shimmery bronzer if I wanted to, but I love all of these gold shades, and I use like the pink and the purple sometimes as inner corner highlights. If I'm doing like a pink look or a purple look, they work really well for that. It's a tenner for this palette, and I think it's so worth it. I've had this for probably over a year now, and I still use it every day. Again, that's what I'm wearing today. I didn't do this intentionally, by the way, that like everything I've mentioned is what I'm wearing. It's just worked out that way. But this would be definitely what I would repurchase. It just satisfies my needs for highlighters. I really don't crave highlighters. I think there's like 2 that are on my wish list, one from Melt and one from Nabla, and I think even then I'm just like, well, I've got this though, so, and it looks beautiful, so I don't know why I would need others. So that's why this would be another one that I would definitely grab. My brows, all I use in my brows anyway is a tinted brow gel, and I have used quite a few. I've used one from Makeup Revolution, I've used the Anastasia Dip Brow, and a few more, and what I really struggle to find is black eyebrow gels. It's impossible to find like eyebrow gels that are dark enough that they work with my hair, and I found with the Anastasia Beverly Hills one, although it was ebony, it was not black. It was like a dark cool toned brown, which just didn't work for me. And the one I found that I truly think I will continue to repurchase, even though it's expensive, I don't really care, I just love the way it makes my brows look, and this is the Glossier Boy Brow, and this is in the shade Black. I'm thrilled with this. It gives me everything I want. It darkens my brows, because I prefer a brow gel that like coats your hairs and actually changes the colour of the hairs rather than your skin, and that's what this does, because I do have like quite thick eyebrows, but because my hair is light naturally, you can't tell. So the fact that this just like coats the eyebrows and gives them that colour, it just enhances my natural eyebrows. That's what I'm trying to say. It enhances my natural eyebrows, and also it gives them so much hold. They just like, they stand up all day, and I am just so in love with this, and this would definitely be something that I would repurchase. Thoroughly enjoy this one. These next two are ones that I would buy just more out of necessity than anything else, but this is my eyeshadow primer and my glitter primer. So I use the Wet n Wild Photo Focused Eyeshadow Primer. This I have been using for years, and it never fails me. I do set it with a translucent powder just because that's how I like to use it. My flatmate Poppy uses this as well, and they don't set it with a powder or anything. They just put eyeshadow straight on top, and it works just as well for them. And it's the eyeshadow primer that I've repeatedly bought. I tried one from Sigma and it just didn't work for me. It was too emollient, too greasy. But this is fabulous and I would definitely repurchase it. And then the NYX glitter primer, I use this with every shimmer ever. I love the effect it gives. It just clings on to every little sparkle and glitter in shimmer eyeshadows. And I personally just see this as a necessity. And I've had this for a really long time, and this is like still full to the brim, but this is definitely one that I would buy. Okay, so I chose 2 eyeshadow palettes, and these were ones I did feature in my if I could only keep 10 palettes, which ones would I keep. So I'm not gonna talk about these for too long, because I feel like I talk about eyeshadow palettes all the fucking time, so let's just glaze over these. But the first one would be the Sosu and Kelidh Urban Bible palette. I've spoken about this so many times about how much I love it. It's my favourite neutral with a pop of colour eyeshadow palette. It's got those really gorgeous grungy browns, so you can do like a really gorgeous grungy smoky eye, and then it does have those really bright pops of shimmer, and I love this shade here, which is called Chaos. It's like a blue to purple duochrome. I absolutely adore it, and I just love this palette. I'm not actually sure if it's still available. I really hope it is, because I talk about it all the fucking time. But I did see that Kelidh has now come out with her own makeup line, and her first palette is really nice, but it's too much like my Sample Beauty Rain palette that I just can't justify it. It's all like mustardy neutrals, which if you've been here before, you know I love, but it's too similar to what else I have. And then the second one would be my Ace Beaute Flair palette. This is another one that I have spoken about so many times, but this is my like perfect muted rainbow palette. I used this yesterday for work, and I put my makeup on at about 7:30 in the morning, and it still looked fabulous until I took it off about 9 o'clock that evening. And I just adore it. I love that you can do, you know, you've got those purpley tones, so you can do a purple look, oranges and yellows, you can do like a sunset look, those greens and blues. I love this palette so much. So this would definitely be one that I would want to grab. And then the final thing for eyes would be my Kiko Milano Extra Sculpt Mascara. This is my favourite mascara ever. I absolutely love it. It gives me such great volume and length, and I really love it. I've been using it for many years now. I do need to repurchase because this is getting quite dry and old, but I absolutely adore this one. So this would definitely be going straight in my basket. And then the last 2 are lip products, and these were the first 2 lipsticks that I was like, oh yeah, I'd absolutely repurchase those. And the first one is the Makeup Revolution New Neutrals Satin Matte Lipstick in the shade Latte. I use this all the time on this channel. You've seen me use this a billion times. This is about £3 or £4. It's got the nicest, softest matte finish, but it's still creamy. I just adore this. I love it built up, or I love it just like kind of you put a little bit on and softly move it around and it just tints your lips. I highly suggest this lipstick and this formula. They've got loads of colours, but Latte is definitely my favourite. I have another one somewhere that I've lost and I'm gutted, but this is one I buy backups of, so absolutely I would buy this. And I do have other lipsticks that I do have backups of, but I know for a fact they are discontinued, and that's why I have backups of them, so I wouldn't be able to go out and buy them, so that's why they are not included. The Kelidh palette I included because I'm not sure if it is discontinued or not. And then last but not least, the last makeup product I would repurchase is actually my Glossier Generation G lipstick in the shade Zip. I'm furious at myself watching back my videos where I've mentioned this lipstick and I call it Generation Z. Like multiple times I call it Generation Z, and it's like, read the packaging. But this is like a gorgeous like blotted lip effect lipstick, and it's a really lovely cherry red. The lipsticks I wear the most are like a nude and a red. I very rarely wear other like bright lipstick colours. It's very much like a brown nude or a red. That's what I usually go for. So, and this one has crept up to being my favourite. It's just so easy to wear and it's really, really comfortable. I really want to get some more of these lipsticks. I'm looking at the shades Cake and Leon. They're currently in my wish list. But yeah, this one I really, really love, and I think I would really miss it if I didn't have it anymore. So this is one that I would definitely repurchase. So yeah, that's it. I know this is quite a short and snappy one, but you know, this was just, it was really easy for me to pick these items. I just like sort of knew straight away, which I guess shows how much I use and love these products. What are the things that you would immediately go out and buy? Anyway, that's all from me. Thank you so much for watching. Eat good, drink good, take care of yourself. Lots of love. Cheers. Thanks. Bye.